Well, joining us now, it really is the moment I've been waiting for, all of us have been waiting for, to have the woman on who's leading our state's largest school district, Denise, Juneau, Superintendent of Seattle Public Schools. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You know, education's been dominating the headlines, and you know, we wanted to have you on anyway because you've been here a year.
Yeah, almost a year.
Right, almost a year. You're at the helm of this large school district and really give us insights into the education issues we've been discussing. But first, you're at this almost at the anniversary piece. What's been the biggest challenge so far?
Well, for the school district, the biggest challenge really has been is dealing with the budget. And we just had the legislature sort of backfill a little bit that we need going forward. But we were in the process of cutting teachers, cutting counselors, cutting school librarians. And now that the legislature has acted to lift our levy a little bit, we have the authority to actually replace and restore some of those staff members at the school level. So really happy about that. Our continuing challenge, at least with the budget, will be around special education funding. There's still a lot of work that has to be done
So
there.
it still wasn't enough that you got from the legislature?
No, it's just like it will be a stopgap going forward for this next year, but we're already starting our work and our conversations for next time. I think around the entire state there's a need for special education funding.
Right, so if that's something you care about, definitely lobby your state lawmakers about that. So you said you won't have to lay off the staff members you were expecting, but are we still expecting some layoffs?
Some. So we are in the middle of not just a tight budget, but also enrollment decline in Seattle Public Schools. And so as a result of enrollment decline in some schools, you don't need as many teachers. And so there still will be a few moving areas around, moving staff around those types of issues of just declining enrollment, and we can't afford the staff that we currently have.
And that's people, as I understand it, going to the suburbs?
Yeah, I mean, I think in this region, there's really been a decline in enrollment for everybody in the region except Tacoma this last year. And so people are moving south. I mean, it is a changing city. The demographics are changing. The economic inequalities happening in the city are really moving families out of our district, out of other districts, and more south. And so there's just a lot of balancing that's going to have to be done. And I think it's part of the broader conversation about demographics of the city, transportation issues, housing affordability, all of those issues as they get talked about at the city level affect the school district as well.
Well, let's have that tough conversation. You know, you're talking about economic inequality. It's a conversation we've been having on the show. Certain schools in certain parts of the city certainly can't raise as much in the PTA funds, and so they're not able to supplement in terms of enrichment programs. How is the school district going to respond to that? You know,
we actually, as part of our budgeting process, have equity sort of funds that go out to schools that can't raise as much money through PTSA, and so there is sort of an equity funding that we look at in our budgeting process. Probably one of the very few districts in the country that actually have that piece. Even when we are dealing with our facilities, we're looking at equity and trying to figure out where are the needs that we need to make sure we're supporting every student, particularly in those areas that can't have all of the enrichment that other areas of the city can. So we have pieces of that work to do, yes, but also we have a new strategic plan that is really focusing on and names out and calls out the need for us to focus on students of color furthest from educational justice. And so we are moving forward trying to be bold in our efforts and really make sure that we are focusing on the right issues so that academic achievement and academic excellence is available to every student in the city.
Okay, my producer's saying, well, we're out of time, and I want to make sure we follow up on that because having personally interviewed students and seeing some schools have certain programs that, you know, every other school in the city has, and you want to see every kid have the same opportunities. I am interested, and I think we all are, in making sure that kids have that access. So I want to know more about that.
Totally.
And as you go, I just want to mention, you know, you are the first American Indian to serve in this role, and you talk about going from Head Start to Harvard. What is that message you want to send with that?
Well, you know, I think it is that you can start out with very humble beginnings and you can get to wherever you are if you have support and you have people who are behind you cheering you on. Throughout my entire experience, I've had conversations with people, and the most important thing that a child can have is a caring adult in their corner to challenge them, to support them, and make sure that they are achieving their goals and getting supported. And so mentoring programs, super important. Anything we can do to make sure that as adults in the city that we are supporting all of our students, every student in the city is going to be vitally important. And that's the message that I always carry is that when you get to high school graduation, you get that high school diploma, it opens so many more doors, and no matter where you come from, it can happen.
Yeah, you're an example of that. You know, Harvard graduate, among other places. Thank you so much for dropping by Take 5, and we'll talk more next time.
Yeah, I'd love to come back.
I'll try to wiggle some more time out of the producers.
Great. All right.
All right,
Thank you.
Denise, take care. All right, let's go to Michelle.